Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. We've got another Friday faves and fails, and I actually do have two disappointing products that I want to talk about. I never have fails. I also have new lighting. Please tell me this makes a big difference, because to me I'm like, this is amazing. But I'd be interested to know whether or not you even notice a difference. So let's kick off with the fails. One of them is kind of like, there are terms and conditions to using this product. So I did actually do a full video on this. You may have already seen it and you'll know why I don't like it. The Missguided Super Fix Fixing Mist is an aerosol fixing mist, and I thought stupidly, without really even considering beyond the fact that it was an aerosol, this was going to be a similar thing to the Morphe continuous setting mist, which I love. The reason I love that one is it just makes everything look natural. So if I over powder, if I just do a really heavy face of makeup and then I spritz, it makes all of the makeup kind of melt together and look really skin-like. And I love that, probably for more reasons than the fact that it's just an aerosol. Because I've always thought it's because of the mist, that's what makes it special. But maybe it's not, maybe it is actually the product. I've never thought it does that much in terms of like improving the longevity of the wear time, but it just does something to the finish. That first initial finish is just airbrushed and perfect. So I'm always looking for something that might be like that, but that is a little bit cheaper. This is only about £6 cheaper. Although, maybe there's more product? Probably not. I just saw it and thought, let's put them to the test. Let's see whether or not they're the similar kind of product. They're not at all. It's called a fixing mist. It's not even a fixing mist. It's called Super Fix. Everything about this should have told me this is going to be more hardcore than your little continuous, ooh, it's nothing like that. That's kind of a soft focus, very flattering. This is like hairspray for your face. Now, I don't do a full face of makeup all that often. I'm actually wearing this today, which might shock you if you saw that review, because you could quite clearly see like a mask of shine on my face. This left kind of a film. It was sticky. It just was awful. I couldn't see any redeeming features, but I knew that some people really enjoyed it. And so I decided to try it again. One person that I chat to quite regularly on Instagram who watches my videos, and she told me that all of the problems that I had with it, the sticky layer, the shininess, everything, would go away if I was putting it on top of a powdered face. So I did this full face of makeup today specifically to test this out. I used quite a lot of loose powder and then spritzed it. Totally different experience. I'm going to be really interested actually to see whether or not later on today this is some fantastic, like everything looks absolutely amazing. I will say so far it's really improved the other product that I'm going to say is my disappointment for this week. It actually is a pretty good product, but it's not what I expected it to be. It's not something I'm going to be using on a regular basis because I don't do a full face of makeup that often. But back in the day when I used to go out on a Saturday night, I mean, it's been a long time and it was never even that regular to begin with, but when I did, I would go to great lengths to find something that would help keep my makeup on. And throughout this pandemic, if you've been wearing a mask, you've probably been feeling the same way. Something that's going to help keep it all together underneath there. And I think this might be that product. If you are a heavy makeup wearer and you wear a powder every single day, especially a loose powder, I think you'll really like this. But if you are a natural makeup wearer and you don't wear powder that often, this is not for you. I'm also wearing the other product that's a disappointment right now. This, I wanted it to be so much better than it is. It's the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. And the fact that it's called No Budge is just like a real slap in the face, because it's the worst moving around eye product I've ever seen in my entire life. So it looks nice. Blends out, really gorgeous, just a really nice kind of shimmery eye crayon. Beautiful. I really like the packaging. It's kind of like a muted metallic. It's a crayon. The whole thing is really nice, and it's a really nice colour, like kind of like a satin taupe type vibe. I really like it, but it does not stay on my eyes for even an hour. It almost straight away starts to disintegrate, fades away any kind of colour, and then just leaves behind really unsightly creases in my eyelids. Now today, it'll be interesting for me to see back, because I can't tell in the tiny viewfinder, but we'll see when I come to edit. Today I don't think it's looking that bad. I've got actual powder eyeshadow over the top. That will help. But I also did use that setting mist, which is like glue. I think that really did make a difference. If you want to use something like this over the top of like a primer, you might be able to make it work. For me, an eye crayon like that it's something that's supposed to be easy. It's like a one-stop shop, a little bit of something, smudge it out, and that's your eye. If after an hour it's gone, it loses all of its purpose for me. If you, again, a lot of these products, if you are someone who likes to layer things, you like to kind of really go out there with your makeup, you want to put it underneath a powder eyeshadow like I've done it today, again, you might enjoy it. But if you are someone who wants easy, quick, do your eyeshadow like that, that's not the product for you. Oh, also the colour that I've got is Bronze Metal. The powder eyeshadow that I'm wearing over the top is this. It is the Physicians Formula Butter Eyeshadow. I honestly don't know whether or not I bought this or it was sent to me. It might have been sent to me, and I haven't used it all that much, but I've used it a few times this week. I'm really liking it. When I opened it up, it's got that instant sun cream smell, like that coconutty, actually immediately reminds me of Las Vegas. Like just by the pool. I don't know whether or not it's the sun cream smell or it's like just kind of like a Victoria's Secret smell. You know, like just like a coconutty sweet smell that just reminds me of Vegas always. And like candles, you know, all that. But it does. It has an instant like feeling of holiday. Which is funny because I wouldn't even say that the colours are necessary. I suppose they've got the blues in there. But I wouldn't say that they were only holiday specific. I think they're quite nice for autumn. I also quite like that they've done this for years, but that they also give you things on the back of like, this is how you could wear these shadows. I like that. They're really nice to use. They're blendable. You get a decent colour payoff. I love the rust kind of colour. That's what I'm wearing in my crease. They're really good eyeshadows. And they're called Butter specifically. This is a Tropical Days palette, by the way. They're called Butter because that is the line. But butter is a really good name for them because they are buttery. Another thing I definitely was sent very recently is this, and honest to God, I would never have bought this. I've seen really good reviews about it, but I just didn't think it was going to be all that. It's the Fenty Cream, also Butter, Cream Bronzer. It's called Cheeks Out Butter Biscuit in 02. I know people love this, but I just thought, well, it's a cream, like, they just love it because it's Fenty. I can't see it being all that great. I haven't had the most fantastic experiences with cream bronzers. They tend to be difficult to blend and too dark. This, to say it's 02, I'm guessing there's a paler one than this, blends really nicely. It's a gorgeous tone. It's not too dark at all. I use it with a brush and it doesn't kind of go patchy or horrible. I mean, I've probably got quite a lot of it on today because I was really going to town, but I use it with this e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator, which is my favourite buffing brush of the moment. I use this for everything. I use it for cream blush, I use it for foundation, everything. And I just kind of like buff it up here a little bit. I'm really enjoying it. I have a feeling I'm going to be wearing this bronzer all through the autumn winter time, and it's going to allow me to wear certain products that I always feel make me look a little bit odd. Like a very dark eye or a very bold lip with very, very pale skin can go badly. Sometimes it can be really striking and beautiful, but often it can go badly. And I tend to go very pale in the autumn winter time because suddenly I'm wearing full foundations again after not having done throughout the entire of spring, summer. And so suddenly my face kind of is a bit mask-like. And if I don't add some dimension in and some warmth, then a very dark eye or a very bold lip can make me look kind of ghostly. And sometimes like a little bit unwell, to be honest. And so this kind of thing will mean that I can wear some more of those kind of warmer reds and stuff on my lips and a little bit of the deeper colours on my eyes, and it'll just balance that out a little bit. It won't be quite so jarring, the difference. But mostly it's just the tone of this. I like the colour. It's really easy to blend with my skin tone. It doesn't feel like it's, oh my God, this is really, really dark. And you can add a little bit, really easy to blend. It's as good as they say. Very, very briefly, because I've talked a lot about this, but the Skin in Me, I'm on my 3rd month now, and I'm going to do a video probably after I've done it for 4 months. A quarter feels like a good amount of time. I am completely sold now. The Tretinoin, I'm assuming, is what is doing the good stuff for my skin. I talked about this on Instagram the other day. Initially, I thought this is a complete waste of time. I don't see a difference in my skin at all. Yes, I didn't expect to see a massive difference from pigmentation straight away, but I didn't really like how it felt on my skin. It wasn't hydrating. I felt like it was missing something, and I didn't like the texture of it. There were multiple reasons that I didn't particularly like the Skin in Me product. which I will talk about in that eventual more comprehensive review. But I'd say probably 6 to 8 weeks in, and I started to see a difference, and people were actually sending me screenshots of my vlogs, because I don't wear makeup most of the time in my vlogs, and they were showing me how different my pigmentation looked, which honestly, I mean, you can see it a little bit. I'm not wearing really, really heavy makeup today, like heavy foundation, and usually you can see it anyway, but it's much less through my makeup today than it usually is. And just go back and have a look at some of my daily vlogs. I think from day 1 to day, what are we now, 27 as I'm filming this, you can see a huge, huge improvement in this past 27 days. I think it took a little minute to really get going, and then it seemed like it was overnight. I looked in the mirror one day and went, oh my God, I have a decent amount of pigmentation up here. It's melasma, it's hormonal, it's difficult to get rid of. I have it round here, it's kind of come down here a little bit down here, around here. I've had it lasered at one point, it came back. Laser is not fantastic for melasma. The heat can actually make it worse. So I've kind of gone back and forth about how I was going to treat it, and I'm really excited that this is working, because honestly, it wasn't something that made me feel self-conscious at all until I started to see more signs of aging. And then suddenly it made me feel like it was making me look older than I was. I had no problem with aging, I had no problem with my pigmentation, and then suddenly I saw them both together and thought, oh, I'm seeing, it's almost contouring my lines. Like I'm getting it here and here, and it's actually making me look older. And that is the first time that I started to feel not self-conscious, because it's not something that I think people are looking at. It's not like I'm trying to hide my face, but I'm aware that it's aging me. And it's something that doesn't need to be there, because it's just pigmentation on my skin. It's not lines, it's just pigmentation. I should be able to get rid of it. And so it being a thing that I can potentially fade and manage with a monthly skincare subscription is incredible. So again, not sponsored by them. I will leave my link below. If you use that link, I will get a kickback. I don't always use that link. I don't always share the link, because I want you to listen to the review. And I know I'm as cynical as the next person. And especially when something's much talked about, like Skin and Me, it feels very sponsored. I swear to you, it's fantastic. I did share on Instagram some before and afters if you want to go and check them out, but amazing. And that is it for this week's Friday Faves and Fails, and we actually had some fails. I hope you enjoyed this video. We do them every single week. These are some of my favourite ones to do. It's just like a rundown of everything that I'm trying. It means that I actually remember to talk about things, and as I'm saying this, I'm realising there is one more thing I want to talk about. I have issues with my neck. My neck / my back. It's difficult to tell, my neck, my back. It's difficult to tell exactly what the problem is. I think it's kind of like top of my back related. The osteopath said that my neck is compensating for my back not working properly. And so that's why my neck hurts, because it's very, very stiff, because it shouldn't be doing all this much work. So I've been seeing an osteopath, and she's been doing some traction work, which is kind of pulling on my head. It's just various things, and then she kind of pulls on my head, and it really hurts afterwards. It's not uncomfortable while she's doing it, but I have a lot of pain after seeing an osteopath, because she's kind of shifted things around, and she thinks she's kind of moving things in the right direction, which is great. But I decided I wanted something similar that I could do at home in the meantime, because I'm going 2 weeks in between appointments, and I wanted to kind of like keep it going. Let me turn that off. In case you're watching this show, that was you telling me where you were at on Grey's Anatomy. So this is an inflatable neck traction device. I think I paid £13 from Amazon. It's the best £13 I've ever spent. It inflates and it pushes your neck, or rather pushes your head up, straightens out your neck, and I'm not entirely sure how it works. I don't know whether or not it's like actually fixing anything, or if it just gives some pain relief, because it really, really does. It also is useful if I'm editing or doing something where I tend to do this. It's a useful thing to sit and have this on, because I can't slouch and I can't do the tech neck thing. It is attractive while I'm wearing it. I mean, I tighten it up more than this, and then all my cheeks kind of like pool around here. And it's because I've got my hair in here as well. I do feel slightly like I might a little bit strangle myself, so I'm going to let some of the air out, which is really easy to do. This is fantastic. If you have a bad neck, I can't recommend this enough because it's £13. £13, you have complete control over how tight you want this, how much of this you want. And obviously if you get nervous, you can always just literally pull the whole thing off. It's just Velcro. I will keep that on for quite a long time. I can leave it on for like 20, 30 minutes. And when I take it off, oh my God. When I take it off, it's like, I've never felt relief like it in all of the years that I've had this. It is chronic pain now. It's a pain that I have every single day. And I don't want to tell my osteopath, but since I've been using this, I have noticed a massive, massive difference in my discomfort on a day-to-day basis. Way more than anything she's doing for me, truthfully. So if it's something that you are struggling with, I can't recommend enough that you just give that a go. Obviously, speak to someone first. I knew she was doing traction. It was safe to do. Depending on what your problem is, it might not be safe. So speak to someone first. If you've been to see anyone about this, I'm sure you can speak to a doctor and find out if that's safe for whatever the reason is that you've got your pain. But my pain is mostly posture related, and I don't know whether or not I can ever fix it. My spine is kind of like out of alignment now. I've got a hump, which is basically where I can feel my spine at the top of my back has kind of poked out, and now I've got like a little, you know, like puppy fat at the top of my back. It's a hump, which protects that's come out of alignment. And I don't know whether or not I can ever fix that. I don't know whether or not it will ever go back in to line. So I am pretty much just looking at exercises and things that I can do to relieve the discomfort on a day-to-day. And that is amazing. That, and also sleeping on my front. I was sleeping on my back to avoid fine lines and wrinkles and also puffiness. I'd read all these things like, you should be sleeping on your back. And I started sleeping on my front and was like, this is a lot less painful for my back. Anyway, that really is it now. I'm really, really done. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out my vlog channel. I have been daily vlogging all of this past month. I'm going to be sporadically vlogging for this October month, and I'm actually going to be doing Vlogmas Eve, which basically is Vlogmas a whole month early. So daily Christmas Eve vlogs in November, if you are into that kind of thing. I will see you guys next time.